Hey, hey, hey. Uh-oh. I see you already shaking your head. I
Just
don't like
can't do
that.
it.
Welcome to the Hoops Rehab Show.
What's up, everyone?
We about to go down with some Lakers talk, but welcome to episode 3. I don't know, Eric. I see your face, and it's not looking good over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say cut the music. I mean,
Ooh.
what could I say? If you guys want to see some of the worst basketball for a contending team, please, I beg everyone, watch the last 5 minutes and 27 seconds. It was terrible. Every single possession, Lakers held the ball for the 24-second clock, and I get it. When you're up double digits, which they were 13 at the time, the clock is your best friend. I get it. You're not going to just come up and jack up shots with a few seconds. But it was terrible. You'd have LeBron hold it for 23 seconds, maybe kick it, maybe shoot a three himself. AR, same thing. Luka, same thing.
ISO ball, kick to 3.
And I get it. Like, you lost on a half-court shot, but it shouldn't have gone that far. So it started with those terrible possessions. But what happened? They take the whole 24-second clock, shoot a terrible shot. Bulls would rebound, transition, three-pointer, bam. Granted, give the Bulls credit. They made 11 out of their last 14 three-point attempts. It's ridiculous.
But, I mean, when you're wide open on a lot of them, that's what happens, right?
That's what we were talking about the other day. That defense that they've been playing that I guess now has been totally exposed, giving up three-pointers like it's nothing. Guys are going to hit them. In this day and age, guys, when they're open, they're going to hit shots. Of course, they're going to have their off nights. It's going to happen. But it's just terrible. They made three-pointers in the last 12 seconds. What is this, Reggie Miller against the Knicks? It's terrible.
That's the first thing I thought. Look at the title. It's called Lakers Choke.
I was looking for Spike Lee. I mean, they're up 5. They gave up a 3. LeBron with the laziest pass I've ever seen in my life to AR.
Ooh.
And I mean, and you still had a chance. And like I said, tip your hat off. This is the only LA team I'm happy about right now.
Listen, you make a half-court shot to win the game. You deserve it, right? I mean, what can we do? We should have been there, obviously. The last couple of possessions with the wide open threes, lazy pass by LeBron. I mean, you have AR playing on a bad ankle, makes a layup, go up by 5 with 12 seconds. How do you not win that game? So,
I mean,
just disappointed.
And I know we're going to get into AR's ankle, but I mean, it's a tough loss, man. From a standings perspective, 9 games left. Seeding is so important. I mean, you can just kiss that number 2 seed, goodbye. Of course, Houston won today. They're 3 games up.
There's only 9 games left.
Yeah, so I know. Like I said yesterday, they are gonna play him twice, but I'm not confident they're gonna beat him both times. I don't know about you. I know
the Lakers going into that. I was laughing about Houston yesterday.
Yeah.
But going into when the Lakers had 12 games, they had the 3rd hardest schedule in the league, right? So, simple fact that you're going to play some good teams right now. And, I can maybe chalk this game up to how many games they've had in the last 10 days, right? But that's still no excuse when you're up 19 in the 4th, 5 with 12 seconds to go. Go up with AR on the layup and you still lose the game. I mean, that's, like you said, Reggie Miller was haunting us right now. So I guess that makes up for the game in Indiana, right? We should have won that game.
Yeah.
Simple as that. We were down, and you won on the tip. So it goes both ways, man.
Yeah.
Let me put this out there for everybody, though. If you guys have any questions, if you got any ranting about the Lakers, anything you guys want, put it in the Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, chat, and then we'll try to answer it throughout the show.
Yeah, and I mean, JJ had a hand in this too. This was like a total team effort as far as losing, and of course there were some good things too. Like, it's just that they're getting lackadaisical. The same thing happened in Indiana. They got obviously fortunate with that tip in. I mean, very easily could have, basically would have been 5 straight losses if they lost yesterday, right? So they've lost 4 out of 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, ooh,
And where did it
man.
start? On
Yeah,
that Milwaukee game that you just gave them the game, right?
yeah.
And
You can't do
so,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they're putting themselves in a really dangerous position. I know that these games at the end of the day, like technically, like don't matter as long as you get
yeah,
out of the play-in. But
yeah,
I mean, you got to. I mean, the teams that are like your actual true contenders, there's a common theme right now with these teams: Boston, OKC. Obviously, maybe even throw the Clippers in there. Obviously, they
yeah.
got to
They
stay
coming.
healthy. They're coming.
Yeah,
Cleveland. I know Cleveland had a little slide too, but they could afford to. But they're all just
yeah,
playing their best ball right now.
yeah. I mean,
Denver's,
it's the end of the season, right? You gotta be playing ball. I mean, like we were, maybe possibly hating on Houston yesterday,
Karma's a
but
beat. You know
they've
that.
won. They're 9-1 last 10 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Won. I mean, you got OKC's won 8 in a row. I mean,
Yeah.
it's rough slate out there in the West. So every game matters, and when you lose a game like this, it's going to haunt you going into the playoffs because this one game could define where you are, what your seed is, and everything with that. So Lakers did themselves no favors tonight. You know, ball don't lie. Maybe you shouldn't have won the game before. It happens this game, so you got to move on and get to Saturday because that's a big matchup coming up with Memphis. What you got going on with Memphis on Saturday?
Yeah, we can obviously be really upset about today's game, and we are obviously.
Yeah,
But as far as the Lakers go, they're going to have to turn the page and get that win on Saturday. Again, it's going to be some more traveling. Obviously, they'll have a day off, at least in between. But
yeah,
this turns out to be the biggest game of the year so far, up to date, because you could almost say that game might be for the 4th seed. There's going to
yeah,
be a lot of, obviously, there's still 8 more games past that. But in all
yeah,
intents and purposes, like it might be that. And so if we're going the 4 or the 5, then obviously I'd rather be the 4. And so big game there. We have to see. I'm assuming all the Lakers, knock on wood. Well, actually, I don't want to say all the Lakers will be suiting up, but we'll obviously talk about AR in a bit. Or I don't
yeah,
know if you want to
yeah.
jump into
We'll
that
see.
right now. But yeah, it's a big game, and I think I mentioned yesterday that I made the kind of comparison: if Lakers go 6-4, Clippers would have to go
Yeah,
10-0 for them to catch us. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna go 6-4 in our last 10. I was just throwing a number out
yeah,
there and seeing if it
yeah.
sticks. But
0-1, 0-1 at this point.
yeah, so
So
6-3 in their
you
last
gotta,
9.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
we'll see.
it's
You got to
not good,
get
man.
Saturday's game like 100%, and
Yeah,
it's never easy to go over there and play in Memphis. Lakers have had some challenges out there, and it's going to be another close game at the end. I can almost guarantee it.
yeah. Um, Man, do you think, it kind of leads me to the next topic, but do you think this LeBron, Stephen A. Smith distraction, what's going on there, is that affecting everybody? Is that affecting the team? Are they getting any effect from that?
Man, it's weird. I was like all giddy about talking about that because obviously there's so much out there today after yesterday. LeBron being on Pat's show. I think it was
Yeah,
just I think it was the day after effect where obviously there's going to be some commentary. Some of these shows are going to obviously make comments about what LeBron said, and I
yeah,
see it kind of tailing off here soon. Especially it's playoff time. Like I don't want to hear it anymore. The
yeah,
one thing
yeah. I
I
mean,
do want to say though is I did notice that Stephen A. had mentioned, man, LeBron, you didn't even go to Kobe's funeral, and
yeah,
he
I saw
actually
that.
he did go though,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so
That's why
I
he
was
was.
like,
I can see,
wait,
I can see why. I can see why LeBron is mad.
sorry,
I can
it's
see why he's
Memorial.
kind of. Yeah, he's kind of taking it too far, taking it too personal at this point. And then LeBron's posting on IG, posting on Twitter. At this point, I hope this is the end of it, right? And this becomes no distraction. You go that, what did LeBron used
Squash
to
it.
say back in the day? Zero dark 30 or whatever that was called. When
Yep,
he wouldn't be
I
on the
want to see
internet, he
that.
wouldn't be online. He'd go fully focus mode for the playoffs. So we're going to need a fully focused LeBron. But I will say, I don't know how focused he was tonight on defense at the end of the game because he gave up 2 wide open threes, wasn't shifting to the guys in the corner. I mean, obviously the lazy pass to Austin Reaves, all you needed to do is get the ball in bounds, get somebody fouled, and you win the game. Simple as that. So
Yeah,
is it a
they had a
distraction?
timeout too.
Yeah. I mean, is it a
They had a
distraction?
timeout.
Possibly. I'm sure it is a little bit right now. But they gotta get on the plane, head to Memphis, regroup, and they better not lose that game. Like
Oh
simple as that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be a distraction, or it may or may not be, but I'll tell you, it's better if this is not going on, right? Like, I don't think it's helping anybody, especially if you are part of the Lakers, or you want to see them succeed, because
Yeah.
everything's going to be obviously like right, like LeBron. I mean, he was pretty looking at his stats, and just watching the game. He was, again, and not kind of a little bit inefficient tonight as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's
get
still some rust, right? I mean, he was
yeah,
out for 2 weeks with the groin. He doesn't
true.
look like 100% right now. If I were to be honest with it, like he's kind of going through the motions. To me, he looks like 80 to 90% motion wise, like how he normally move. And that's probably so he doesn't aggravate the groin, right? So I
Yeah.
think he's gonna have to take some time, try to get get that feel back for the game, right? And then over the last like 9 games, he's got to get into our typical LeBron. I mean, but he is 40. I mean, simple as that. He's had a hell of a year already, but he needs a couple more games to probably get that under him a little bit.
Yeah, that's one thing that you're right. It's 40. It's a little concerning that obviously Saturday is going to be 30
Yeah.
or 4 nights.
Yep.
That's not going to happen in the playoffs, obviously, right? You're going to have a lot more.
Yeah.
You're not going to have any back-to-backs. You're not going to have any 3 and 4 nights. It's a long 2 months, though. If you plan to play 2 months, it is long, and so
Yeah.
it is a little concerning with them being tired and things like that.
For
And
sure.
it might get to the point where if they know that they're probably going to be like a 4, 5, 6 with a few games to go,
Yeah.
as long as you're out of the play-in. Like, obviously, you really
Yeah.
want to get the 2 or the potentially the 3. But if you really can't get
For
there,
sure.
last 3, 4 games of the year, I mean, it might be better to sit. Obviously, that's still a ways away, but
Yeah.
something to think about when that time comes.
Yeah. I mean, you hope you're in a position where you can set people, right? I mean,
Yeah.
or seeding doesn't necessarily matter as long as you're in the top 6, right?
Yes.
Do we want to be the 6th seed? No. Right, you want to at least be the 4 seed, so you at least have the first round home court, right? So hopefully they're in that scenario, but they got to win games, man. You can't lose games like the way they lost today. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, it's if you when the season ends, and we'll see where the chips fall, but you're going to think about like that Brooklyn game, these 2 Chicago games. Granted,
Yeah.
yes, Chicago's playing pretty well, but still, you got to just win those, at least one of the 2. Obviously, like
I mean,
Charlotte.
you know how I felt about losing to Chicago again. I mean, you get blown out
Yeah,
at home, and then you lose twice. The only 2 times you play the Bulls, they're the worst.
you
They're terrible. Bulls are
you
terrible on the East Coast.
you were saying it. It was supposed to be payback, and I'll be
So,
honest. In the third, I was just like, I was chilling. Third quarter, I was like this up by
yeah,
like 17, 18. I'm like, okay,
yeah. I was trying to get my kids some dinner. Like I was,
yeah, absolutely.
watching the game in the background. I thought everything
I
was
was
good.
having dinner. I was
You know
like,
what I'm saying? But
I was gonna have some dessert too, and then that shit happened.
yeah. And then what do
Shit,
we always
man.
talk about? Third quarters. Well, they do this tonight. They played well, right? But the problem with the Lakers, I don't know if it's like a Laker thing or it's just like the way this team has always been developed.
25,
They
20.
let their foot off the gas so many times in games. Where it's like you can have a 10-point lead, 12-point lead, and it's like gone within like a second. And I don't know if it's a lack of just mindset sometimes, like where they're just playing hard, and then all of a sudden they just give up. But man, you can't give up leads like that, especially like in the fourth quarter. Man,
Yeah,
it's tough.
I think it's a combo thing, right? So it can't, of course, right? Lakers are up, like I mentioned, 13 with about 5.5 left. God forbid we build it up to 18 and we get these guys some rest for Saturday. God forbid that, right? No.
Yeah.
In this day and age, and in the NBA, like 13 with 5.5 left. I mean, it's doable. You make 2 or 3 threes and you're right back in it. And that's what happened. 11 out
Yeah.
of their last 14. Like, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
Now,
No,
you could put a damn hand in a face. That might help. But still, 11 out of 14 probably doesn't even happen in an open gym, as I think JJ said today. And man, JJ, his press conference, he was just so like, it's weird because I expected him to just be like, JJ, right? Pissed off and this and that.
Yeah,
And he was just
pissed.
but he was like kind of defeated. He was like, "Oh, we played really well," and he hit a shot. He hit a shot. Hats off.
I mean,
but
you make a half-court shot. That's just you can't
no
do anything about that, except for maybe guard him and put a hand up. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The last thing you want to do is like foul somebody shooting a half-court shot, but it's like, man, like it was just bad luck, and Lakers deserved it. They put themselves in that situation with those lackadaisical offensive possessions, and obviously defense wasn't great either. It was just empty possessions. There was no plays run, and I understand in the NBA the last few minutes it's kind of really don't run plays. It's a lot of ISO. It's get the ball to your best players and go. But I don't know what to make of it, because the same thing happened last night against Indiana, and it tends to be a trend. And I'm just the whole, we got Luka, honeymoon stage. Everyone's excited. That just seems to have wrapped up, and Lakers are they're not playing good basketball right now. And
they're not right now. Simple as that.
They got to turn it around. They got to turn it around fast.
Yep. And obviously we thought about it yesterday. We talked about it yesterday, but we thought Rui would be out today.
That's right.
So that made sense to kind of rest him on the back-to-back. I did not like when I heard he had more pain after last night's game, because he played amount of minutes and kind of stress on that game compared to he normally does. So I mean, that's not good with 9 games to go, right? So he's going to be dealing with that knee, obviously the rest of the season. But the fact that it kind of got a little bit more flared up from the Indiana game, obviously you're not going to play him in a back-to-back. So the rest of the back-to-backs we have, I highly doubt he plays.
No.
And then, so there you go. Those are 2 games that Rui's not playing, and I think that affects their offense, especially in the starting lineup. And so, you just got to get a rhythm. Come playoff time, the only advantage to the playoffs is that you're not going to go back-to-backs, right? So hopefully, we get some home court, get Rui, get some treatment, and have at least some rest in between, obviously for LeBron. And then now Austin Reaves, who went down tonight, but basically became, how he is. He's got that Mamba mentality. So he just kind of, jogged it off, kind of went on the sideline during the timeout and came back in. He looked a little hobbled, but was still getting buckets and basically got the go ahead to go up 5 points with that layup right there. So, I mean, he looked all right coming back. My worry for Austin Reaves is just the swelling that's probably going to happen tonight, kind of going into the morning. So let's see kind of how he feels tomorrow. This is the same ankle that he's already sprained, so he's kind of got a little bit of laxity in the ankle. I'm sure he's doing some pain with that ankle too as well. So we'll see, man. It'd be, I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up on the injury list and he's probably questionable for Saturday at this point.
Do you think he was just able to continue to play just based on like adrenaline, and it's one of those things like he's probably going to feel it in the morning?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the way he got up and the way he was putting weight on it, he didn't really want to put much weight on it, right? So you see him on the sidelines. They kind of followed him on the timeout, and he tied his shoes up tight, kind of got up and got ready to go. I mean, he's a tough dude. Like, it's hard to break him down, right? So I'm sure he'll have the ankle taped, possibly a brace or something like that too. I don't know if he wears any braces, but he's going to try to protect that thing and try to probably play on it. But I just wouldn't doubt if we see him pop up on the injury list for Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. And it just sucks this time of the year. It's like you can't like he's going to be out a week or two. It's like that just let that that's the season, obviously. Well, the regular
Yeah.
season. So
Yeah.
definitely going to
Yeah.
need him in the stretch run, but also going to need him, in the playoffs too. I mean, obviously we need him at 100,
Yeah.
as close to 100% as possible. So that's when
For
it
sure.
really matters. So hopefully he's all right. Obviously, it was a decent sign that he kept playing, but as you mentioned,
No, I mean, he
was
kept playing and he played well. So I mean, he's a tough dude.
no, he is. So we'll see here. I guess I could look at the next like few games before we check out the
Yeah.
standings, right?
Yeah. Let's check it out.
Who won the? Obviously, oh wow, Texas Tech actually ended up beating Arkansas.
Oh, Texas Tech one? Okay. I
Yeah,
had Arkansas
was up.
going there.
Arkansas was up the whole game practically, and I saw they went to overtime, and Texas Tech moves on.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a good team there. Oh.
Yeah, along with Duke, Florida, and Alabama put a whooping on BYU.
Oh yeah. Alabama's pretty strong. They got a strong offense team.
Yep. But yeah, the next few games. So we obviously talked plenty about Saturday's game at Memphis.
Yeah.
And then they got 3 home games. It would be it's Houston on Monday, and then Golden State on Thursday, New Orleans on Friday.
Okay. So that's probably best case scenario, right? You get home and play Houston on Monday. You know how I feel about Houston.
Gotta
and then you get that couple of days in between before you get to Thursday, and that's probably gonna be huge for just the Lakers in general. With Rui, Austin Reaves, LeBron, all trying to rest their injuries there. And that's a big matchup with Golden State too, right? So every game's gonna matter. Obviously, the guys, if you're looking at a back-to-back, they're definitely going to play on that Golden State game and probably not as many on the Pelicans game. But those are the Pelican games that you worry about, right? Where you're like, oh, yeah, we'll be all right. We don't have to play everybody. And then all of a sudden the Pelicans beat you.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, probably best case scenario, at least, to have the Pelicans on a back-to-back and then kind of move on from there. So.
Yeah, that's how the next four games are looking. 3 of them at home, and in terms of the standings, which we're going to definitely continue to talk about. So not much really changed with the Lakers losing because the Grizzlies lost as well to OKC. So Lakers remain at the 4. So obviously you got OKC at the 1. Houston is pretty in a nice spot at the 2. Denver at the 3. That 4-5 I just talked about, and so now the Clippers are 2 games back from the 4 and the 5. Obviously, I spoke yesterday about the tiebreaker rules and all that, and I'll mention it again as we get like a little closer to the end of the season for those that missed it. But yeah, and then Warriors and Clippers are tied for the 6-7, and you got Minnesota a game back. So it's still very much a logjam. Like again, every day there could be some changes. And so, it is what it is. Lakers got to find a way to get some W's. Today would have been one of those, like if Josh Giddey would have missed that shot, we still would have been like, wow, like Lakers just really like playing with fire. But hey, they got to win. You can run out of Chicago with a W and we'll take it any day. But no, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
And it just makes that Saturday game just that much more important.
Yeah, I mean, is that prime time? Is that Saturday Memphis game or no? I was trying to think of
it is. I don't
like
think it's the ABC like Saturday night.
It's not the ABC game. Okay. Yeah, it felt like the way it was on a Saturday.
Yeah, it is in the evening. Sorry, let me just double check. It's at 5 p.m.
5 o'clock.
There actually isn't a Saturday night ABC game.
Yeah, there's not a Saturday night game.
So.
Okay. I thought that might be it right there. It seemed like it. But that's a huge matchup right there. So
both got the same record. Will the Lakers get 50 wins? That's the that's that barometer, like the 44-29. So they got to go 6-3.
Yeah, so they got 6-3. I mean, sorry, if you can't go 6-3 going into the playoffs right now, I mean, you know how I feel about that. If you go like 4-5 or something like that going into it, that's not a good sign, right? So 6-3 has to be doable, has to be the goal. You got to get around 50 wins. I think 50 wins for sure put you in the top 6.
Yeah.
And more than
Probably.
likely that 50 wins will give you at least the 4 seed at
Yeah.
least, right? At a minimum.
I think it would. It would. Yeah.
So the 6 and 3, that's got to be their barometer right now. Yeah, especially when you lose a game like this, you have no excuse at this point. You got to get those dubs while you can, and get into the playoffs. Get that extra time for being a top 6 seed, which will be crucial for the Lakers to get that extra week. There's no good scenario this year if the Lakers are the 7th seed. Like I'll tell you guys right now, if the Lakers are the 7th seed, we're gonna go home the first round.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean,
same as last year.
At this, if they're playing with this momentum, bye. Let's goodbye. I mean,
I'll tell you what will happen. You get that 7. You play that playing game against Minnesota. They probably beat you. I mean, we'll see. And then you play OKC first round, or you play Houston first round. I'm just,
okay. Don't play with me. But if you lose to Minnesota, become the 8th seed, play OKC, 1-8. There's no way you are. They're not winning that, and we'll get all hyped and be like, oh, we could always beat OKC. But we can't be a 7, 8 seed and think they're going to get to the finals.
Oh yeah,
that
we can't
simple
even
right now.
Spell OKC. They let alone beat them. Yeah, I mean in the first round, we got.
Not even close.
I think last year we learned. So I thought, obviously you're not going to lose a game on purpose, but when we played Denver that first round, we were like, oh man. But you know what? It's like we ain't ducking no fades, right? We're just gonna like the great Darlingham said.
But we ain't ducking no fades.
But I even thought too, sometimes it's better to get these really good teams the first round before they kind of start to build more momentum and get hot.
Yeah.
But no. Sure. I don't even know what we're talking playing. Like it just can't happen, or else our
6 and 3. I don't want to hear anything else about it. 6 and 3.
Yeah, I'm almost at peace that it's just gonna probably be like a 4 or 5 matchup, and we'll see who gets the 4 and the 5. Obviously, if you go 6 and 3, probably have a chance at the 3. It just depends on how Denver does. But I don't know. That would mean they'd have to go obviously if they have I don't know if they have 9 left, they probably have to go 4 and 5 or something like that. So, but Lakers do play OKC twice in OKC.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Win one of those, right?
At this point, I know they're young, OKC, but maybe they got to rest some players.
Yeah. That's the only upside.
At that point, right? So I think in all reality, too, it's got to be you have to take those games serious and take them as a playoff matchup, right? So you don't want to go in those games and get those dubs as make a statement, right? Be like, hey, this is who we are. We got some obviously elite players on the Lakers right now. So you got to get in there and get those wins. It all starts with Memphis on Saturday, so I don't even want to talk until I hear a W on the Saturday.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it starts with that game. Got to get that one. Obviously, had to get today. Didn't happen, so now you even more so got to get that one, and just take it from there. And as you mentioned, OKC, those 2 games are towards the end of the year, so you never know what's going to be out there. Then again, I mean, they could probably sit a player or 2 and still be pretty strong, especially in their gym. Yeah. So, it wasn't a good night at all, obviously.
No.
Lakers are just not playing, like I mentioned a few times. They're not playing good basketball right now. And I know sometimes these things could turn on a dime, and we're hoping that happens. But I think it's just the little things. It's little things like you have a lead, and I know in today's NBA it's really easy for teams to come back, but we have to know that, and we can't take the foot off the pedal, right? So
not in this NBA, man.
Gas.
The 3 ball, with every team shooting so many threes, and if a team gets hot like that, that's what pretty much puts you out of game. So you gotta be ready for that. JJ is probably pissed, and he probably was on him in the locker room about that loss. So I always at least have faith in this team because I know JJ is going to be on it. So they're just having some some breakdowns that they can't just let happen. So they got to figure that out.
Yep, and it's gotta start back up Saturday, and they got the team to do it. Just gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
It gotta be like
Lakers.
like
What
like
we
like
have
this.
today? You guys see this shirt right here?
Got
We
opening
got
day at
the
Dodger Stadium. I know we're hoops, but we're sports first and
Showtime
LA sports first.
Showtime Lakers
Yeah,
and Dodger hats, right? So,
yeah,
LA opening day. Dodgers got the win, right? So
yeah.
it's
I watched some of
good
it.
for
I
LA.
felt absolutely. I felt like it was just like I mean, I can't believe it just feels like the World Series has happened, but it felt like it was just like
Yeah,
a spillover to from the playoffs last year with like Otani homering, it being a tight
yeah,
game, Blake trying and
yeah,
having two guys on in the ninth, closing it out.
yeah.
Um,
So it's a good way to start. Or well, they already
Teoscar.
started 2 games, so
Yeah, that's true. So they're 3-0, but 159 more to go. We'll obviously talk about that when we ever come up with a baseball show or something like
we'll
that.
get there.
But oh, actually, it's funny. But it's funny that you say that. I noticed that the
Yeah,
Clippers social media, they said
yeah.
like good luck to like the Padres, like the season of Padres. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, way to annihilate yourself even more, Clippers.
Well, you
Like,
mean you know the Clippers. You know how they
like,
are.
like
They know
really, like,
they know they don't have Dodger fans. They don't have Laker fans. They don't have most of what 85-90% of LA. I mean, I guess the only thing they have is the San Diego Clippers, right? So
that's what I was
They have
thinking.
The G League team. So maybe they were
I
trying
was
to, a little statement there. But
pay homage to
they if you in LA, you gotta celebrate the Dodgers. So I mean, Clippers are gonna clip, man. That's how they always are.
Clippers are gonna clip. I know they're playing well, but I was like, man, like, no, you
Yeah,
don't rep another city's team, especially when the Dodgers and Padres like have a so-called rivalry.
yeah, for sure.
Did the Padres actually score a run today? I know they hadn't scored a run in like 20-some innings in the playoffs, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying
they won today actually.
they won. They won.
They did win. Yeah, yeah.
They won. So it's going to be a
Um,
fun season. Obviously, it's always a fun season being
yeah,
a Dodger fan, and we're the best run organization. I know we got the cash to spend, so I don't want to, obviously
yeah,
people to cry about that,
yeah.
but yeah. Anywho, so what's up, guys? Any comments? What do you guys? Are you guys?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for some questions here. Trying to figure out how this chat works. So I sent in any
Is it?
questions. If you guys, anytime you guys are in there, just leave some comments on the Twitter chat or Instagram chat there. Um,
I got a
but
question
I
for you
did look at,
guys.
yeah,
Now, for if you guys well, before you mention that, I want to know on a scale to 1 to 10, what's the panic of the Lakers right now? You guys type that in while the doc continues. 1 to 10, where are we at
I
panic wise?
I have my meter. I hope you have your
Okay,
meter. But we
I
want to
got it
hear
right
what the
now.
fans have. If the fans have a panic meter, what's your panic meter? 1 to 10. I'm gonna let you go.
I'm at about a 6 right now.
Oh,
Um,
geez.
I know. I mean, I was gonna go
6.
higher, but I was 6. That's kind of high, probably. I don't even know, but it's just because it's not hopes. As far as getting the not being in the plan, I still think we're going to be there.
Yeah.
But in terms of coming through in April, May, June, I don't know, man. It's I'm seeing a lot of things that need to be corrected. So,
Yeah.
what about yourself?
Yeah. I got about 2, man. You know how I
Oh,
am. I'm chill with the Lakers. I'm pretty confident. I always got to reel you back in sometimes when you're kind of diving off the
like a
deep end. But
fish, right? Like
so I mean, I got about a 2. I'm not too worried. Um, my meter will go up if we lose at Memphis on Saturday. My meter will definitely go up. And I mean, my concern, you know how it is. I mean, it's my specialty. My concern is always health with the Lakers. If the Lakers are healthy, they're usually one of the best teams in the league. If they're not, they usually have difficulties, right? As simple as that. So that's kind of how my panic meter works. I'm just keeping it factual there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it comes to just as simple as that, health and just playing the best they can at the right time.
Yeah,
And there's still 9 games to do that. So
for
hopefully
sure.
my 6 goes down to a 5 by
Here we go.
Saturday. And if you caught me like maybe 5 minutes after that Josh Giddey shot, shoot, it would have been through the roof
Oh
my
yeah,
my
we
meter.
should. If we
But
would have, if we would have went live right then, oh,
I
I would have had
know
to. I
which
would have hold you back. I could hold you back like Stephen A. Hold him back.
yeah. Yeah, believe me, guys. We wanted to jump on right away, but I think it saved ourselves from just going ballistic because we were like texting away. I think my fingers were about to fall off about from all the text messages I was sending about how pissed off I was at this team. But
Yeah, yeah.
cooler heads got to prevail, and like I said, Saturday is the next task at hand.
All right, man. Well, I'm assuming we'll have a little show on Saturday, either Saturday,
Let's get it.
Sunday ish, but
Yep.
more than likely we'll have it on Saturday. Kind of wrap up the things for the week, at least the road trip, um, and get after it. But yeah, if you guys ever have questions outside of this, and you know how we are, we'll answer any questions. Send us some questions, DMs, or anything on Twitter. We'll get after it on the next show. But other than that, big Eric B. Mac, you got anything left?
Yeah, I mean, just basically, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Would love the follows. This is something that we're kind of a new venture that we're starting, and we really appreciate
Yeah,
everybody joining us in that. And so, anything that you can like, anything that you can follow, smash that like
yeah.
button. Would be greatly appreciated. Again, any questions, as the doc said, that you have, you could always ask us. And yeah, it's about it for me for tonight.
All right. If you guys missed it, I'm gonna put it back out there for the replay, so you guys can watch the replay on YouTube, Twitter, any of those platforms right there. But on to the next game.
Peace
See
out.
you guys.